What's going on, everyone? It's Adam here from No Shelf Space, and today we're going to be hopping into a halfway point review, overview, filled with spoilers for Ticket to Ride Legacy Legends of the West. I'll show you what we've unlocked so far. I think we are in Game 6 or maybe Game 7 of 12. I'll show you what we've unlocked so far. I'll talk about some of the things I've liked about the game so far, some things I haven't liked about the game so far, and so much more. So join me down on the table where I have everything opened and unboxed, and we'll talk about it. Remember, there are spoilers here, so if you are trying to go into Ticket to Ride Legacy blind, this video is not for you. But if you're curious to know what it's like, when I'm thinking about it, and yes, I'm shaking the camera because I'm just holding my handheld, but if you want to see what it's like and things like that, I think this video might be a little bit helpful. Again, this is not all the way through the game. I believe this is after 6 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds. I'd have to actually check one of the tuck boxes to find out. But let's hop to the table and check it out. All right, so this is the board as it is in Game 1. And in your first two games of Ticket to Ride, it's very much just basic Ticket to Ride with a few exceptions. There's no longest train. When you build into a large city, you collect a train card from the top of the deck. And when you build on your own colors, I was blue, for example, you would get $2. And your tickets are money instead of points. And there's an event deck way up there at the top. There's a couple things that get added to the game no matter what happens. No matter what box you open, you're going to be adding more of this and that. One thing you're going to add is more tickets. Every box comes with more tickets. So that makes that easy. Every box has more events, at least one more. If not events in between the various cards you're going to be drawing throughout the game. There are events added after every single game, and they sometimes coincide with something you just learned or something you just got in the game, or they might just be a new event that kind of does something cool. The other thing that there are going to be some in every one are these cards here, and I don't think I've shown these off before, but these are employee cards. You could have the Ticket Master discard up to 2 incomplete tickets before scoring. You could have the Dispatcher draw 2 extra cards at the start of the game, extra tickets. You could have the Financer, the Locomotive Engineer, the Conductor. There are a few that are not here because there's a President card that gives somebody one final turn after all final turns have been completed. That's always given to the player who loses the previous game. And then there's a couple more that my wife and I have in our tucked boxes. But those are the things that come up in every single game. There's going to be more employees, there's going to be more events, there's going to be more trains. So I'm not going to talk about that in depth. The first box we unlocked for the game was Florida, and I'm going to push this over here because I'm going to add to this board as we go. So the first one we picked to unlock was Florida, and that added just this little board in the bottom corner here. And in Florida, we actually got something pretty interesting. The circus comes to town. Very, very cool. Now, the way the circus worked is we have this box here, this big top box, and we pulled the little tab open on the side. And as you can see, now we've retired it because as you can see there, it says 2 players stop here. So we stopped because we're playing a 2-player game. But inside, it's actually little stickers. And those stickers will go on a, you'll have your very own little pamphlet. It's called a program for the circus, for your circus. And every time you build a train of a specific length, so you can there, 1 to 2 space train, you get nothing. A 3 space train, you get 1 train circus ticket. 4 to 5, you get 2 circus tickets. 6, you get 3 circus tickets. And you have to put these tickets into your pamphlet. I don't have a pamphlet handy, but I can show you one. We're going to grab the red player right here. I will open up their box. And here is the little pamphlet. It tells you right there. And then on the inside, you have all these trains. And the color of the cars here can never be the same. And at the end of the game, you're going to score points if you fill up this train. So if I filled this up with 5 different color stickers from this box, I would get $64 at the end of the game. $32, $8, $16. There's also this on the back. It's called the Animal Sanctuary. You can put the train cars on here as well. And at the end of the game, at the end of the campaign, you'll collect $5 for each sticker of your own color. And you'll collect $2 for every other sticker. Very, very cool. So that's what we unlocked when we added Florida to the map. We added the circus. And I would say the circus lasted us 2 games. It lasted us that game and maybe half or 3/4 of the next game. And then, you know, when you get to that point there, where it says, hey, 2 players stop here. That is obviously where 2 players stop. And that was that. This went back in the box and it never comes out again. We are done with it. All right. After we did that, we unlocked the Great Plains right here. We unlocked the Great Plains box. And with the Great Plains box, we learned about company towns. Now I'm going to add the Great Plains to the board so you can see what it looks like. But we added this board right here, and you can see a couple new icons. Now, mind you, you could have seen them before, but we placed them on the old board. There's a couple icons that you need to see here. There's this one right here, which is Omaha. There's this one right here, which you can see is a blue capital city. And there's this one right here, which is a green capital city. Those aren't capital cities. Apologies, I said that wrong. They are called company towns. And the way company towns work is everybody will have their own company towns. Now, they're in the boxes. I do have the red player's box, so I guess, or my wife's green player box. I shouldn't open that one because we're in the middle of the game. That would be cheating. I will grab this one here, and I will show you what I'm talking about. It's not those. Have I even... There it is. So everyone's going to get a little sticker sheet like this, and it has company towns. And depending on when you first unlock company towns, you'll place one on the board. And then there are ways to unlock more company towns and place more company towns on the board. But the way they work is if someone ever builds into or out of your company town, they either have to give you $1 or 1 train card. So they have to give you $1 or 1 train card. So you want to place them in strategic positions. In this game here, for example, I built into Chicago, my wife built in Cincinnati, and of course, Mama O'Connell is here in Omaha. So Mama O'Connell is that wild, the game, you could call it. And if you build into Mama O'Connell's company towns, you have to pay the bank either $1 or 1 train card. And there are more stickers. There are Mama O'Connell stickers. There are ways that those get put on the board. Of course, everybody has their own company town stickers. There's also these large city stickers. And at the end of each game, after you unlock this box, at the end of each game, you're going to add a large company sticker to one small city in the game. And you can do that at the end of every game. So we added one here to Atlanta, and we added one to Nashville. Those are what we've done so far. So that was the Great Plains. Very cool. There wasn't a lot going on, but it added some new stuff as well, some new cards and things like that. All right. We had a lot of decisions for our next game, what we were going to unlock next. We could have gone down here, and we could have put in whatever. This is the open range, the haunted wastelands, and so on. And we went with the haunted wastelands. Now, this one we added to the board over here. Now, we decided that maybe this wasn't the greatest idea because it made the board a little bit weird. But what I'm going to do actually is, you've seen this part of the board. I'm going to shift this away actually and try to bring in this to the middle here. And we're going to come over here a little bit, and there we go. So this was the new board we added. Now, something I should point out that I missed along the way is you can see that some of these are obviously stickers as opposed to a printed route. That's a printed route. These, you can tell by the glare of the light, that is a sticker. And that's because you have routes that look like this here, and I will point them out right here. So you see this route here? That route right there is what they call a track bed. And when you build on it for the very first time, you will take stickers that you're given in almost every single box. More stickers keep coming. You take those stickers and you actually put them into these slots, making it that color route for all future games. I forgot to bring that up, but that is another thing that you do. Those are track beds, and you'll do that quite frequently. In the Haunted Waste, what you're going to be doing is actually building tunnels. So all of these here are tunnels, and you can see the pickaxes on there, We've actually built on a few already. And tunnels you can only build on with all of the same color, but the color train card also has to have a pickaxe on it. I can show that to you as well. Right here we have a blue train card. As you can see the pickaxe on the top. So if I wanted to build on this route right down here, it would cost me 4 blue, but all 4 of those blue would have to have a pickaxe on it. And not all the blue cards have pickaxes on it. There are some with skulls, and there are some with nothing at all. And in this one, whenever you build it, the first time it's done, you're going to score a value of points equal to what's printed on the root. So this was 10. For reference, I played this 6 line. This was worth 18. My wife played this 5 line. That was worth 15. And here's another 10 up here. And that was another 10 up there. It's a one-time thing. So once the path has been built, then it doesn't matter. Then it's not a tunnel anymore. Anybody can play there with any cards. Now, there is also a ghost train that moves around in this area, and it will give you curses. Right here, we have a ghost die, and we have the ghost train. And the ghost train will start here each game. And anytime you build a white root, you will roll the die. That's not a good example. You'll roll the die, and you'll move the ghost train that number of spaces along the printed track. So in this case, it would go here. If the ghost train ever ends up next to a route that you build, so let's say I had built right here on this route here, and the ghost train came here, I have to draw a curse card. And curse cards kind of suck. Some of them are worse than others, but they all kind of suck. Here you go. Here we go. Coming up short will ruin you. You may discard any extra train card of any color to claim a route. That's forever. Until you may discard any 3 train cards at the start of your turn to put this card back at the bottom. Here you have you do not draw a card for claiming a route into a large city. That kind of sucks. Again, you can discard any 3 train cards to get rid of this. This one says you cannot use any of your employees' abilities. Now this one could matter and it could not, because if your employee has a start of game ability, this actually doesn't impact you at all, which is kind of great. This one is you can't piggyback. Piggyback is also a new rule that if all of the routes into a city are claimed, you can play your piggyback card, and everybody has one of these piggyback cards. It just looks something like this. And what it says is you may claim a route parallel to another player's route on the board. Now, this is not just talking about 2 train routes. It would be if my wife had every route into St. Louis and I was here and I need to go to St. Louis, I could play 3 trains just next to her 3 trains right there and flip this piggyback card face down. I used it. I can't use it again. So anyway, that's piggybacking. Again, I'm going to miss these little things, but we're going to get through everything. So you can't piggyback. You can't claim a route in the Haunted Waste. This one could really kill you if you have tickets over here. This one here, when an event instructs you to collect dollars, you do not collect. Ignore your company's bonus card. You do not collect dollars for claiming routes. So there you go. These are curses. You don't want them. That is what we unlocked in the Haunted Waste. Now, technically, we should have one more area unlocked. You unlock areas at the end of the game. Because of the way my wife and I are playing, we tend to not open up the next area until we begin our next game. Just because we don't want to set something up, learn the new rules, and then put it all away. So even though it's an end of game thing, it is generally not impacted by, it doesn't really impact anything. It is the last thing you do. I'll show you right here. On the rule book, sorry, on the end of game, end of round. I got to get to the end of round stuff. Here we go. Here we go. So, expand the frontier. You can see it right there. Number 7 is the second last thing you do before cleanup or play again. And so because we're going to play again probably this evening or tomorrow evening, we will just do this step before we begin setup for the next round. So far, I've really enjoyed Ticket to Ride Legacy. We're going to come back. I'm going to sit down again and we're going to chat a bit about how I'm feeling about the game halfway through, because we are exactly halfway through. You gotta love filming a video over 2 days. I'm wearing a different shirt, and this is a different day. But so far, I'm actually really impressed with Ticket to Ride Legacy. I really enjoy all of the different things at play. The track beds are really cool. The tunnel idea is really cool. The circus idea, which only lasted like a game and a half, a game and 3/4, was really, really cool. And I actually like that those things don't last for the rest of the campaign, because if they're adding something new each time you open a new tuck box, I don't want to know that much stuff. At the same time, I don't want to try to think in game 11 or 12, should I go for circus trains or should I try to build a route on these tunnels and gain lots of money? I don't want to make that decision. That's too much decision making, because that's just a decision between 2 things. That's what you generally are going to be doing. But if you extrapolate that over 11 games, there could be 5 or 6 things. So I like that things come and they're cool and then they go away. I absolutely love that that is how they're building out this game. Adding to the board is really cool. Opening these boxes is really cool because you never know quite what you're going to get. I never expected Honestly, I never expected to be doing a circus train. Also didn't expect there to be a ghost train and curses. Like, these are things I didn't even think would happen in a Ticket to Ride game. Yes, I knew there's going to be more tickets. And yes, there's going to be more events. And there's going to be more employees that you can hire. But the other things, not expecting them all. And I think they throw some nice curveballs that are just easy to understand. They work well when you add them into the game, but they make you think. So in this last game where we opened the Haunted Wastes, and I built that, I told you guys just a little bit ago that I built that 6-long train, and it gave me $18. I had to balance between, am I going to complete tickets that are going to give me money, or am I going to quickly nab that up for $18? Over the course of the game, I just happened to pick up enough red cards and locomotives that I didn't need, that I could just build that 18 train. And I was like, sweet, that's $18. And I completed all my tickets. I beat my wife pretty good that game, but she's beat me at other games. And I think the balancing here is very well. I would say right now, just based on our scores, we are probably about 20, maybe $15 or $20 apart. But there's also cards you're going to be putting in your tuck box. I don't know how far she got on her circus train. She doesn't know how far I got on my circus train. That's all hidden away in our boxes. And unless I go into her box when she's not around, I won't know how many points she scored for those things or for any other cards that she's putting in. Because when you complete some tickets, they're going to have a postcard on the bottom. And when you complete that, you actually get to pull that postcard. And sometimes that postcard gets you extra points, or can get you extra points if you do something. For example, I had a postcard that said I had to get into Bangor, Maine. And if I spent an extra locomotive card when claiming a route into Bangor, Maine, I could put that card in my box, and it's going to be worth $12 at the end of the game. That's a $12 swing that my wife doesn't know about right now, but that I have in my back pocket. So I love that kind of stuff. I don't know what her cards do. I don't know what her postcards do. I don't know what she's done. Outside of her game-to-game score, which we tally up together, I don't know what other points she has. And that keeps things interesting. So even if you know you're losing, because I'm losing the game-to-game game. Like, I know that based on the amount of money she's earned in the 6 games and the amount of money I've earned in the 6 games, from routes, from the money in front of us, and from how many train cars we have left, I'm losing. I know that. But I've got these things in my back pocket that are making me feel really good about my game, and I know it's a lot closer than maybe she thinks it is. And I think that's great. Overall, Ticket to Ride Legacy with 2 players has been phenomenal. Phenomenal. This might be my favorite Legacy game so far. I'm not a great Ticket to Ride player. My wife is way better than me. And I assume at the end of all this, she's going to kick my butt in terms of score. But I'm having such a blast opening up all this stuff, and I honestly can't wait to play more. Guys, if you like this video, please give it a like and a thumbs up. Please also share the video around. Maybe watch some of the other stuff on the channel. I'm really trying to grow. We crossed 200 subs a couple weeks ago. We're only at 202, but that's all right. We're trying to grow. I'm having a great time with this. But you can always check out my written thoughts of various games over on gamesreviews.com, so be sure to check that out. But honestly, guys, until next time, thanks for watching. We'll chat again soon. Goodbye.